So I got into anime a few months ago, and a lot of people ask me, what made you get into anime? It's because I like to find different perspectives to look at things, and I was honestly getting bored of the same type of movies with the same plot lines and same actors, and you know what I mean? It just seemed like everything was just uh, different shades of the same shit. But I got put on to anime, started out with a lot of great, I've watched a lot of great anime series and, shows, but my favorite one is the one that everybody seems to have the biggest issue with, which is One Piece. And I am going to explain very quickly, or as quickly as I can, why I feel like One Piece is the best anime of all time and how it really correlates with real life, and why I think it, like, a lot of people don't want to watch it. Well, they don't want to watch it because they keep going off the episodes, right? But once you get into it and on the storyline, it's like mind blowing. So for one, Luffy is a young man who had a desire to become something, set his mind to it, and wouldn't let anybody break that. So he said when he was a little kid, I'm gonna be king of the pirates. Like 6 years old, he like, I'm gonna be king of the pirates. Everybody laughed at him. He like, oh, okay, but I'm gonna be king of the pirates. Everything he had to do, he went through every trial and tribulation, and he gained along the way one of the greatest team lineups, like Zoro, Sanji, Robin, motherfucking, uh, I'm not gonna say Nami, and like all of these people had their own skills, and they were the best at what they did. You feel me? Well, they were all great like him, and they had dreams of being the best. And he saw in them, he was like, you know what? I see in you something that I have in me. You're trying to reach a goal that nobody else thinks that you can reach. You're trying to become something that everybody doubts that you can become, but you genuinely think that you can become it. Zoro knew that he was going to be the best swordsman in the world, even though they had, you know what I mean? If you continue watching it, they have two other swordsmen who are up there. It's like, damn. And each time he grows, he pushes past them, even though he don't, be what's called it. But yeah. So then Nami. So Nami, which is their navigator, she wanted to create a world map. She wanted to travel around the world, and because in the movie they're pirates, so at that time nobody had sailed all around the world, so all seven seas. So she wanted to do that and create a map of the world. Everybody laughed, told her this was crazy. It was something she was doing since she was a shorty. Again, each one of them had these dreams and these ambitions and these goals since they were kids. You feel me? And the only thing that Luffy asked from them, which is, I feel, what made them the greatest fucking team, because even going up against people who have been in the pirating in the pirating game, but yeah, have been pirates for years and ran with the same crew. Some switch crews, and some got new crew members and whatever the fuck ever. You feel me? But along the way, they probably stayed the same, but everything around them switched. Luffy and his team just seemed to get tighter and tighter and more close knit because of the one thing he asked them for, which is the one thing everybody is terrified to actually give, which is vulnerability. Yeah. So with Robin, she was terrified to let people in. Robin was a fucking archaeologist, was the last of her kind that could read poneglyphs. the road maps and shit that were in different languages. She was from an island that had historians that were the only people in the world that could read poneglyphs, right? And they destroyed the government in the show, destroyed her island because they were doing research on a gap. It's a 100-year gap in the show. It's a 100-year gap where there's no recording of that history. Nobody knows what happened. So her people on that island were researching that, and the government is the only one who has that in-depth knowledge, and they've broken it down and spread it out and made sure nobody else can be able to decipher this and look this up and find out what happened during that 100-year void or whatever. She was the last one of her kind from that island. They came and literally did a buster call, blew the island up, murdered every motherfucking body, you feel me? And she had been from the age of like 8, been on a fucking run, bounty on her head from the age of 8. So people would know, like when they found out, like, oh shit, you shorty from, O'Hara, like you a demon, whoop the bam. Not only because like where she was from and the knowledge that she had, but the powers that she possessed. I don't know, she ate a devil fruit or some shit like that, but she had the power to basically make extra limbs so she could I don't know how to describe it to y'all, but you gotta watch it. But basically she could create extra limbs on herself, on you, trip motherfuckers up, all type of shit. Anyway, so used to call her a demon, a devil, and she had experienced this now she's the oldest one out the crew. She experienced this shit her entire life since the age of 8. You feel me? Can you imagine like being on the fucking run? Like, you feel me? Like, imagine being a goddamn slave and you break off the plantation and you feel me? You trying to find happiness and find peace, but as soon as somebody find out who you are or where you're from, they calling you a demon and trying to kill you, trying to hand you over to the government and trying to take your life. Who up the bam? So yeah, she experienced this, and her whole life she was on defense mode. She's the oldest one out of the crew, right? And so in one of the scenes, she gets kidnapped. Now Luffy demolished her crew, right? And she ended up jumping on Luffy's ship because she like, well, shit, you didn't already destroy who the fuck I came with, and I ain't got nobody else to go with, so I'm about to ride with you. He like, okay, cool. Everybody like, what the fuck? So that's another thing about Luffy I'm gonna explain that I fucking admire, that I think we kind of all need. But look though, so it's a scene where Robin is like, she gets kidnapped by the world government. They want to use her to decipher some shit, and then they're gonna kill her ass. You feel me? So she's like, they like, nah, we ain't going. They don't even know the true history. You feel me? So, but they fighting for Luffy and the crew. They're like, nah, you're not gonna take her. You feel me? Like, she's part of our crew. I already took her on my ship. That's my shorty now. That's my friend. I'm not going. Like, so he go there to rescue her, and she like, why are you doing this? Like, what? And she tell him like, bro, I don't want you to save me because I'm terrified that you're just going to disappoint me. You're going to hurt me. I'm going to let you in, and you're going to let me down and leave me in the end. So if that's what you're going to do, don't rescue me. Just let me die here. And Luffy is like, bro, I ain't asked you all that. I asked you, did you want to live? Just tell me you want to live. If you tell me you don't want to live, I'll leave and we can cut this whole mission. I'll leave this shit alone. Like, bro was really tearing down the Navy for her ass. You feel me? And he did it for each one of his members though. But so he like, after she confessed or whatever, he like, man, okay, I hear that, but you ain't asked my question though, bro. Like, tell me you want to live or you don't want to live. Answer the question. So she started crying. She like, fuck it, I want to live. He like, say less. Shot the motherfucking Navy government flag down. It's wartime. Go to war for us. Get shorty back. Each time, with each one of his members of his crew, with Zoro, with Robin, with Nami, each time there was a moment where they didn't know about, where Luffy didn't know about their past, but he had already committed to them off of what, you know what I mean, they had established already. So when he first met Nami, who was their navigator, the best navigator in the world, she was being used by a, bogus ass crew who was just a bunch of fucking bullies, you know what I mean, fucking shit up. They had killed her guardian. It wasn't her mother, but it was the lady that took her and her sister in. So they had killed her right in front of her, and then took Robin hostage and was like, look, shorty, if you want to save your village, you gotta basically work for us. Now, she was a little thief. It was like, shorty, you basically gotta work for us and create these maps, because I saw that she drew the little maps of her town and the little areas like that. They was like, damn, well, shorty drew this? Okay, we could use her, right? So they took her, killed her motherfucking guardian, who was like her mother, person that raised her since she was, her and her sister since she was, a little shorty or whatever. So, again, traumatized, got somebody murdered, somebody that you love murdered right in front of you, you feel me, and trying to save you, because the lady had a option, and they was coming and they ran into this motherfucker town, and they was like, hey, look, we taking over now. If y'all motherfuckers don't pay this amount, because it was like 100,000 for adults, 25,000 for kids. So the lady was already post. She already, you feel me, living on the edge, taking care of Nami and her sister, and Nami out there stealing or whatever, trying to get money back to the crib, you feel me. And so shorty, her and her sister, Nami and her sister, is out one day, and the motherfucking pirates come in, and they tell her, like, look, if it's only you only got to pay us 100,000. Cool. They about to leave. She give them the motherfucking money. They about to leave. She see Nami and them in the motherfucking bushes, and then she like, but it's not just me. I got 2 daughters. They like, what? And she like, but I can't pay. They like, okay. Kill her ass, right? Snatch Nami up. Since she was a shorty, been using her to create maps and to steal for them. Told her ass like, look, shorty, I'll free you and let you win back or buy back your village if you pay 100 million berries. You figure, did me? So she was on this mission since she was a shorty, like, okay, if I make this 100 million, I can save my village. Who out the bam. So she dealing with this motherfucker fuck crew, bogus ass crew, doing her bogus. She's stealing all this shit for them. I mean, she done stole well over 100 berries, but she is also, collecting the money. But anyway, she ended up making the money, and they lied to her. It was all a lie. It was just, they never thought she was going to raise the 100 berries. That's what they got. It's berries, not money. So the 100 million berries, they like, man, she ain't gonna never raise that. But over the years, she ended up saving it. Now, she met Luffy. She literally was stealing from him, okay? But it was something about her that Luffy clicked with her. He was like, oh, she's stealing, but he didn't like that, anyways, I ain't gonna give y'all the whole story. You can watch your own shit, okay? You can watch that part. But anyways, they click up. He finds out after going, back, get into it with this motherfucking fish pirate that had Nami hostage or whatever. He like, damn. Find out that buddy ass played Nami and lied to her all these years and was using her, right? So she crying. She's sick. Luffy like, that nigga hurt you? He dead. He made my friend cry. You dead. And he bodied their ass. Like, when I tell you, these are pirates that at the time were actually way stronger than him. But when I tell you, Luffy went through hell and high water and freed Nami, right? How she had a little sail. It was her room or whatever, but that's where she did all her drawing of the maps and shit like that. But it was a scene where they blew the whole little fortress up, whatever, and they blew it up, and her room was in there. And as it's blowing up, all these the burning maps is falling, and she's like crying because she's thinking like, damn, Joe, all these years I invested into doing this. Like, I invested into creating these maps, and it kind of hurt, but then it was like, I'm free. You feel me? Like, I'm free from them. I don't have to do this shit no more. I don't have to lie about who I am or what it is that I'm doing now. You know what I mean? Because she was lying about her name, who she is, where she from, what her objectives were, who off the band. But still, Luffy brought her on the crew and rocked with her. Again, he asked for vulnerability. Asked Nami, what is it, you feel me? Like, what is it that you want? She like, I just want to be free. Help the ass get free. With Zoro, each one of his members, bro, all he asked for was honesty, vulnerability. And after that, everything else fall into place. You know what I mean? Because it's like, once you're completely naked with somebody, they see all your scars and you see that they accept you for you. And he just like Luffy is kind of what most people might say is stupid or dumb. You feel like, you know what I mean? Because he's not a high intellect person, but he'll understand it once you break some shit down. But the thing is, he doesn't want to understand it. He's not stupid. He just doesn't care about certain shit. If it's not something, you know what I mean, productive that's gonna help him and his crew grow, he don't really give a fuck. But a lot of people laughed at him and was like, what? Like, you know what I mean? You weak ass motherfucker, you really think you finna be king of the pirates? And he like, listen, I hear you, but I'm finna be king of the pirates. And show his shit stank. Couldn't say shit. Every person he went up against that was saying they was the king of the pirates, he demolished their ass. Like, he wasn't going. Like, he stood on business about everything that he wanted. And he protected and fought for every single person on his motherfucking team. Everybody. Like, motherfucking man, Joe, like, I think that's the most amazing thing. And I think that's why I really loved One Piece, because I could see so much correlation and similarities to real life and how, you know what I mean? Because, like, literally, they'll be talking to Luffy. And I feel like we all have to have that type of a little dumb. You know what I mean? Because you have to be dumb to certain stuff in order to not give a fuck. You feel me? Luffy, what the fuck was that saying? But they was breaking the plan down, right? They about to go in here. Now they outnumbered, outmanned, outstrength, everything. And they like, listen, we finna go on this. We about to slide up in these people's land. We going up in here for a specific reason. We just gotta pop. Okay? Don't make no, sudden moves. Don't need nobody recognizing us. Then we gonna pop on out. You feel me? And Luffy like, okay. Not paying no attention. Because he already know in his mind it's not finna go like that. You're going to have to fight. Like, you can't keep trying to avoid the war. You can't keep trying to avoid the confrontation, the pain, the loss, or the gain. You feel me? You can't keep trying to avoid that hard part of your journey if you want to get to where you're trying to get to. So he just be like, oh, okay. And motherfuckers look over him, and it's funny because it took a little second for everybody else to catch on, but now watching them, it's like Luffy will dead as, even though he's the captain and they do respect him, they treat him like the little brother. And they'll be like, he'll say some shit and they'll be talking about a plan, and he'll be sitting there just digging in his motherfucking nose or picking his ear and looking off for some shit. They'll be like, pay attention. Like, nah, because I know you. If you not sitting over here, you feel me? Like, I know you gonna run out there and do some dumbass shit that's gonna get this whole plan fucked up. And it got to a point where they started to know him so well, they literally calculated for his fuck ups. It was like, okay, Luffy is gonna be Luffy. We're not gonna chase after him. We know he's looking for he's about to jump off this ship right the fuck now. As we're talking, actually, he's probably already gone. Like, yeah, so anywho, you can discuss the plan with me, and if I catch up with him, then I'll, relay it to him in layman's term as best I can. But he ain't staying around for that. So actually, there he goes. Yep. Yeah. And best believe when he gets the fuck off that ship,
shit gonna be shaking. It's gonna be something going on. He's not looking for the trouble, but he's sometimes just not gonna walk away. I often say not smart enough to walk away, but it's not like he's not smart enough, because there was a scene where dude ass was laughing at him, whooped his ass. Well, he ain't fight back, but embarrassed the shit out of him, tries to embarrass him or whatever. And Nami was like, what the fuck? You can whoop him. Like, why is you not him and Zoro? And he told Zoro, don't fight back. Bow. Putting the business on their ass, threw their ass out the motherfucking bar, all laughing at them because they said they wanted to go to the Sky Island. Now, at the time, there was literally only like 3 people who had ever been to the Sky Island and come back, and nobody believed them, right? It was just, myth and legend and woo up the bam. They thought it was some shit out of a book. So they like, man, listen, fuck that. I'm going to Sky Island. I believe it's really real. I'm gonna get there. And everybody was like, are you stupid? Ain't nobody done. But as soon as they said that, when he said that he wanted to go somewhere that everybody believed wasn't real, and he had already made up his mind that it's real and he's gonna get there, he ain't listening to shit else. He didn't. He ain't give a fuck. And guess what? They made it to Sky Island. They made it to Skypiea, okay? And not only did they make it to Skypiea, baby, they made connections up there. You feel me? Like, like, if a motherfucker could have a goddamn bird signal or some shit back to them motherfuckers, they could and built a slide down, they'll come rock and ride for Luffy right the fuck now. You feel me? Like, that's the connections he made. He fought for what was right. Like, he not out there looking for trouble, but he not finna stand down while you out here doing bogus shit for no fucking reason. Like, okay, you want money, nigga, go to work. The fuck you over here trying to rob these people and murder motherfuckers for? Like, that's some bitch ass shit type shit is he on, you feel me? That's why I really respect Luffy. Like, he stands on his shit, and he don't give a damn how many people laugh at him for what he believes in and what it is that he wants. You know what I mean? Like, he's just gonna show you. And in the end, he has always come out on top. So that was not the quickest explanation, because I got a little bit too into it. But I did cut it, you know what I mean? I ain't do all the characters, but Zoro is another one. You feel me? It was that, depending on somebody. Zoro was a loner. And he was like, I'm going to be the king of the pirates. And he was already fucking amazing, rubbing over Zoro. And everybody knew of him. But, yeah, he was called the Pirate Hunter, which is funny, before he got with Luffy. And then when Luffy met him, it was such a idiotic moment on Luffy's behalf that Zoro was like, what's to this little motherfucker? Okay, hold on. So he like, bro, like, Luffy is, again, Zoro is caught by the fucking Navy. Tied the fuck up, okay? They ain't fed him like 3-4 days. He's tied up on this post. And Luffy is looking for something to eat. And he jumps over the motherfucking thing and see Zoro, and he's at the same time looking for a goddamn swordsman. So he's like, hey, who is you? And da. He's like, you want something to eat? He like make friends with buddy ass before he really knew who he was. Then came back and was like, so you should be on my crew. And motherfucker looked like, nigga, I'm the pirate hunter. You're a pirate. What are you talking about right now? He like, nah, I hear your title. I know what you do, but you're the greatest swordsman, or you're trying to be the greatest swordsman. And right now, I am trying to be the greatest pirate. I'm trying to be the king of the pirates. I feel like we go hand in hand. So I feel like, we can grow together, bro. Like, woo up the bam. And when I tell you Zoro is one of his top dogs, baby. Number 2 in command. Like, yeah, sometimes it just takes taking a chance on motherfuckers and also making that connection and, you know what I mean, just being transparent with people. Like, he was completely transparent with them. And then when he came back and saved him, and Zoro was like, he not gonna he not coming back. He came back with something to eat, and motherfucker threw the food on the ground, and yeah, so like he saw who Luffy was. You know what I mean? And he respected that. And he was like, it's something about him. I can rock with this. I can get behind his objective, his motives, and his way of doing shit. And yeah, but I don't know. Hopefully, people give anime a chance, because it's honestly just real life in a more colorful and action-packed thing. It's like what you see in your head sometimes, or maybe that's just me. But yeah, give anime a chance, man. Give One Piece a chance. It's not bad. It's actually fucking amazing. Like, it is. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself.